Okay, haha. Look what we have right here, a 1965 snowmobile. Now, something this old is actually classified as an antique snowmobile. And let me describe what I'm talking about here. In 1965, manufacturers were just getting into the game of making snowmobiles. We had Polaris, we had Skidoo, we had Arctic Cat. You know that OMC was one of the early pioneers in this manufacturing. And this is a first-year effort for them. This is a 1965 Johnson Skee Horse. Now, the parent company was OMC, Outboard Marine Corporation. Now, if you think Evinrude and Johnson outboard motors, we're talking about the same company. Now, here we had a company that was making seasonal equipment, that is to say outboard motors, and they felt that if they had a product for the off-season, when you're not boating, why don't we get into snowmobile manufacture? The end result was the Johnson Skee Horse in color green. They also made that same year, same machine, just different colors, a white one called an Evinrude SKEETER, and up north across the border in Canada, it was called Snow Cruiser. Now, why did they jump into this industry so fast? Well, quite frankly, they had, the engineering, they had the two-cycle engine technology down by then. They had, marketing, they had dealers, they had distribution. So they got into it, like I said, rather early in the game. And I'm so proud to show you today a first-year Johnson Skee Horse. Now let's look at some of the features here. In this era, the manufacturers, many of them were just getting into fiberglass hoods. And here's a case in point. The motor, come on over here and take a peek at this motor, is quite unique in that it was not an upright single cylinder. This is a two-cylinder engine, and the pistons are horizontal. The attempt, I think, was try to simply, get this to vibrate less. So single carburetor, but two cylinders, horizontal, and a clutch. The good news was that they had a neutral cutout. When you wanted to start this thing in the morning and the track was frozen, you simply pulled this knob here, and you could start it without the engine turning the track. So this is an example of a first-year effort, totally restored. This machine is correct in its configuration. It's in fact, it's ultra correct. It is as delivered. So with this first-year effort of Johnson, they had a few design issues. Let's just talk about that. And I wanted to describe a couple of corrections they make. I'll be polite and say corrections. When these machines came out, the dealers started to hear back very quickly from their customers that there was some flaws in this machine. The dealers immediately received parts to replace the bad ones from OMC and plop them on these machines. So the hunt was on for a machine that was unchanged. That is to say, as delivered from the factory. And I think we see an excellent example here. So let's go around to the front of the machine here, and I'll talk about one of these issues here. Here. Look at this ski here. Okay, I'm going to wipe away the snow. Now notice that this ski is rather unusual. It has two of these channels in it. The problem was with that configuration was that there was no runners. And what would happen is users would go on hardpack or some try to travel over roads and stuff, and this all wore right out. So within short order, the factory sent replacement skis to all of their customers. The replacement skis were orange in color, as you can see here underneath the gas cap, that color. So it was not easy to find a set of skis that were in fact original and not all messed up. In this instance, the restorer put welded rods underneath both sides. So this is the correct ski for coming out of the factory, but it's been beefed up so that the problem does not exist. Now another issue will be found right here on the back side of the snow machine. And in effect, this shaft was immovable. That is to say, there was no scissors, there was no suspension on the rear axle. And that created a problem. These things would tear out. So again, the manufacturer sent out a repair kit. A repair kit was a piece of metal, you know, paneling that went in there, and a scissors assembly. So I'm kind of happy to see that this machine has not had any of those upgrades. We can argue that it is as factory delivered. It runs, it drives, and I will also mention that this machine got a first place trophy at the VSCA National Show. It got a first place trophy in the National Show, and it was quite an honor for this old antique to win the top prize at that event. The other thing I want you to take a look at, come on in and you can see some of these details, is that the restoration included all of the decals, the stickers, if you will. And so this is extremely accurate when it comes to a presentation of this as-built machine. Okay, thanks for watching.